Hi, I'm Lauren.
And I'm Khaki.
And we are sisters, business partners, and no surprise, best friends.
This is our podcast, Two Sisters in Business. We'll let you decide who's older.
We hope you'll join us while we talk about what it's like to work with your sister, be a mom, and run a family business.
So listen to us in the pickup line at school or while you're having your morning coffee.
We want you to be inspired to start that side hustle, escape the stresses of your day, and most importantly, laugh along the way.
Find us at Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts.
And in case you're wondering, I'm the oldest. This is Two Sisters in Business. Let's dive in. We're live.
Hi.
Hi. I think we're on
recording?
episode 60. Right?
No.
Oh, this is 59.
59.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I can't believe we've done that many episodes.
I know.
We're almost at 60. Good
Big
for
deal.
us. It's a big deal.
Milestone.
Yeah. So this is our second episode that we're recording this week. We're doing 2 in 1 week.
That's a big deal.
That is a big deal. We actually have time this week, and we carved out
Time
an hour.
and words.
Yeah, and I know. Are we going to have enough words today?
I don't know. We'll see.
And the topic today is one that we've both read up on, but I think we're both going to learn as we talk about
agree.
it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And reading about it brought up other questions that I wrote down to talk about, which
Let's do it.
I'm sure you'll have or thoughts on.
Yeah.
So we did a case study on outdoor voices, and it was I think it's one of our most listened to podcasts recently, right? I don't know if you've
I
checked.
actually haven't looked at the analytics recently.
Okay.
But I probably should.
Yeah, it was up there. So, and then a few people, I mean, not many people, but a few people DM'd me and said they really enjoyed it. And
All of our listeners out there.
yeah, exactly. Said they would love others. So we picked another brand today, which I think we've mentioned before on the podcast, called Parade. And so we've picked 2 brands that we'll have to do another brand next that has succeeded, because I feel like both, I mean, Outdoor Voices is still in existence and selling clothes and only online. And I highly recommend going back and listening to that episode if you haven't yet. But they both kind of have gone very up and very down. So maybe next time we should pick one that has succeeded. But what I was thinking about that, and we texted about briefly this morning, is that I think that I really find that tracking both the successes and the failures of all these companies really helps me guide decision-making on a deal, with what we're doing.
Well, definitely. And I think that these 2 brands too, as we go into talking about Parade, have been very similar to our brand and how we started. And so I think it's always good to see what other people are doing.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
And to your point, help guide you.
Yes, 100%. And that was, I'm glad you brought that up, because what Outdoor Voices, Dudley Stephens, Hill House Home, Vuori, I mean, I'm putting us with these much larger brands, right? Like, we're a smaller brand, but what we've all done and what Parade did do was have a hero product. And I think that's what's similar, what feels so a hero product and community.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I was going to say community too. Yeah.
Right. So it was that buildup of community, and we can deep dive on that. But those are the things that really rang true for me.
And growing on Instagram too. And I guess that's where the community comes in, right? You grow the community on Instagram.
Yep.
Which was at the time that we started, and also at the time that these companies started, was such a valuable resource to us, because the algorithm was completely different.
Yes, exactly.
And it was like free advertising and a great way for all of us to connect and bond.
Yes, and reach new women
over a product.
Yeah. And for her case, it was underwear. For our case, it's a fleece turtleneck.
Right, exactly.
Wait, so I'm also very glad that you just mentioned that too, because Gary V, and I mention him all the time, I feel like, when we're recording our podcast, but I follow him and I really love what he has to say. He keeps saying that social media is dead. And to your point of what you just said, back then, the algorithm, it was so easy and free and accessible in 2015, 2011, when it launched, through 2020 or 2021, I would say, maybe even 2022. So for 10 to 11 years, you could post on Instagram and reach. I mean, our engagement used to be insane.
Right. Well, I mean, think about how you use Instagram now.
Right.
Versus how you used to use it.
Exactly. Yes.
I don't know.
Different.
I like go on and doom scroll now.
I
don't even
know.
know what I do on it now.
I don't, because we get fed stuff that we're not following the people.
Right.
So you just get these like what it thinks you're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's a lot of like motivational speakers and then like some fashion.
Yeah.
And then whatever the hot topic is, like love story, it was like everything Carolyn beside
Right.
Kennedy, right? And so it's like whatever that is going
Whatever's
on in
going
the
on.
zeitgeist
Mhm.
is like what we're fed.
Right. As it used to be like your friends. And I
Yeah.
don't know. I used to post a lot more too about
Same.
things that I was doing.
Same.
Now I don't.
No, I didn't even post after my spring break trip
Right.
because I was like, I went.
No one
I
wants
thought,
to
no
see
one-
this anymore.
I don't think anyone wants, except for my family. Like,
Right.
or like my kid, like my husband, and our friends, like, and no one is seeing my posts anymore that are my friends. So like, who cares?
Yeah. That's so funny.
I don't know. So I think what Gary Vee called it instead, it was like interest media,
Yeah.
and that like the number of followers you have, it doesn't really matter anymore. It's really your engagement and how many people are seeing your posts and interacting with them.
Mm-hmm. I do. I mean, I feel like he also says like you can still make it on Instagram too. It's just different how you do it. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yep.
I think that's important to reiterate. It's dead in the way how it used to be,
Yeah.
but it's
But there's
still
other ways.
living
Yeah. Yeah.
in a different form.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So this topic raised more questions too. And the first one was, is social media dead? And that's exactly what you just said with like the algorithm changing. And and then I'm going to save my other questions for when we get to the end. And I already mentioned that we like to look at both the successes and the failures. I think that's something important that will come up throughout the conversation today. Because I really do think, and we've talked about this too, like we learn so much more from when we fail, like in life. And like I think with our business too.
Yeah.
And so studying these companies that are no longer in business is just as important, I feel like. I mean, it's so important.
Right.
Okay. So Cami Tellez is the lady of note who launched Parade in 2019. She was a Columbia School dropout where Khaki went.
Go Lions.
Yeah. You're wearing Lions colors today,
Oh, yeah,
too.
I am. I did that on purpose. Wait, that's hilarious.
Stay tuned for more college colors coming actually in the fall from Dudley
yeah.
Stephens. We're discussing doing like a little, not like licensed or anything, but just like stripes and fun college
Collegiate
colors.
themed.
Collegiate themed, exactly. So Cami started Parade in 2019, and she had a co-founder who I don't know much about, so I won't. His name is Jack DeFuria. But she wrote. So what was interesting about the launch of this is that she actually had started working. She claims, and I'm sure it's true, but she said that she started working in startups when living in LA, I believe, and that was kind of what got like before she was even in college. Like she was already inspired by Warby Parker, the Warby Parkers of the world. And I feel like Warby Parker was kind of the pioneer in all of this, like direct to consumer.
Oh, yeah. I remember listening to a Warby Parker How I Built This episode, and it was really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to re-listen to that one.
We should. Yeah. They were really at the forefront of all this and saw that you can cut out the middleman and sell online and only charge $100 for a pair of eyeglasses with prescription. And they really were like disrupted the whole eyeglass market. So so I think she was really inspired by the likes of Warby Parker. What's interesting, so she wrote a manifesto at some point criticizing the traditional lingerie industry. I think it was even like in Google Doc format.
It all started with a Google Doc manifesto.
Yes, yeah. It's like the memo from Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
Like she went out and wrote a memo, which is bold. And, Gen Z is known for pushing back on certain things that have been established, like Victoria's Secret, featuring beautiful bombshell models that are just, their bodies are totally unattainable and not relatable to, women. But what's interesting about that is that she wasn't like the first to do that. Like Third Love also did that. They even took out
Oh, yeah.
an
Third
ad.
Love.
Remember Third Love?
Wait, she's the one that went to Duke.
Oh, right.
Sorry, we were having a conversation this morning because you said
Duke
she went to
lingerie
Columbia,
fabric.
and I was like, wait, who was the one that went to Duke?
Wait, there it is. Okay, because we didn't remember.
Yeah.
And I can't remember her name right now. We'll have to Google it. We listened to her speak somewhere, remember?
Yeah, one of those conferences that we've been to.
And so the founder of Third Love was very fired up about Victoria's Secret at the time.
Heidi Zak.
She was even there when I was there. I think she might have been, I don't know, senior as a freshman. I've exchanged like LinkedIn notes with her too, just me cold DMing people on LinkedIn. I love doing that.
You slid into her DMs.
Sliding into her DMs on LinkedIn. And she wrote back. I know she was very nice. Anyway, Khaki and I heard her speak, which was that conference was really good.
Very inspirational. Yeah. I love that one.
Remember the guy, was it Stadium? Was it
Shoes?
That was great.
Yeah.
Wow. That would be another brand we could deep dive on. So anyway, Heidi Zak also was fired up about how women were portrayed by these lingerie companies, specifically Victoria's Secret, to the point where she took out an entire New York Times full-page ad spread. Basically, it was like a letter to, I think, the founder of Victoria's Secret saying, like, we as women, like, do not stand for this. And that was what Third Love kind of set out to do, was to have different sizes and different fits for women, just, that are all shapes and sizes, and that don't want to go shopping for underwear and feel like they, see these images even in the stores of women that are just totally unattainable. So I loved the Third Love messaging when it came out. I shopped the product. I actually don't wear it anymore personally because the fit. I found another brand that I really like called Pepper. It's
I don't remember that one.
Yeah. I hate to say this, but it's for small-chested women. So I was targeted on Instagram, and now I'm addicted to their product. If you are like me, Pepper is so great. I actually am obsessed with their product. But in the beginning, when Third Love came out, I was very into it. We saw Heidi speak at that conference, and I totally bought into her mission and like the pushback on Victoria's Secret. I think it was like just a very relevant conversation. So why I bring this up is that I don't think what Cami did was like revolutionary, but I do think that she was of age. She was in the Gen Z. She was like a very outspoken Gen Z entrepreneur, that like was pushing back. And Heidi's like our age. So
it was her story was just slightly different than Heidi's.
Yes.
It was the people that she was talking to were
the younger.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And I think that therein was the inspiration, was the motivation for venture capital to invest in her, because picture all these like, and this is all speculation, but I'm sure there were women investors as well, but like the older male VC guy sees this like beautiful young college student come in with a clear mission and a way to do it. And they're like, we need to tap into that market as for our fund. What better way to do it, And so I think it got wrapped up in that. And so she launched this company, and the vision and the mission was to create inclusive, colorful underwear for Gen Z, and with diverse models and affordability. So the price was very low. So she had a hero product, right? Okay, there's so much to deep dive on here. Another fact that we pulled up was that 70,000 people apparently signed up for the wait list before she launched. Wow. 70,000.
That's a lot.
So I want to look back and see how she managed to, did it just go viral or something? Like, she really got that out there in a really effective way. So what's so impressive too, and what we talked about with Ty Haney, is how young they are and like how they understood to do all of this.
Yeah. I mean, she really, I do think it was a lot of the Instagram, like grassroots street wear, like marketing that got her out there. And like, if you go, I'm on her Instagram right now, and it's like very much that street, like grassroots marketing kind of feel, right?
Exactly. Yes. Like I think that they would just gift anybody underwear in the beginning. Like, even if you had 2,000 followers, they'd send you underwear to like promote it.
Right.
And then they called it like you're a brand ambassador.
Yeah. The parade, I remember reading it was something parade.
Yeah. Was there a name for it?
There was a name for it. I'm blanking on it now. I'll find it.
So they amassed like thousands.
Parade Friends.
Parade Friends.
I thought it was
maybe.
more
It is
clever
Parade?
than that.
Is it? Oh, Parade Friends.
Thousands of micro influencers called the Parade Friends.
Yeah, that doesn't really match like the streetwear
Yeah.
vibe that you're describing
No.
at all, but okay. So I think by like 2 to 3 years in of launching after 2019, they had tens of thousands of brand ambassadors that were posting. What's interesting is that there was underwear. So like, were they posting in their underwear? I guess they were. This is me, the elder millennial, commenting on.
They were. I mean,
They must
and
have
also
been.
like being at Columbia in the city, like I'm seeing a lot of on her Instagram, like jeans that are like low rise with
Right.
the underwear showing,
Yeah, like Calvin
like
Klein
in the
90s.
city. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just very New York City
Yeah.
street
Yeah.
look vibe.
Yeah. And
Which
I
I guess
wonder-
is very her, like was her.
Yeah, totally. And I'm now that you're saying that too, like, I wonder when she launched, did she have, I mean, she had this marketing plan, right? And this ambassador, social media, let's just like blanket social media with this product. I wonder if where she made them in the beginning and like what the margin was. I'm so curious about that. I didn't,
because they were so inexpensive.
yeah, I didn't really come across that when I was reading, but maybe we can Google while we're chatting.
Well, I mean, I guess because she had so many people that were on the wait list, she was able to buy
Yeah.
bulk from the beginning.
Oh, totally.
I
wonder
mean,
if
we
that was
started out
planned.
making so few products right from
100.
the beginning.
Yeah. And then we grew more on demand.
Yeah.
She was growing on like maybe demand, but wait lists, like pre-orders almost.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it seems like.
One way to do it.
Right.
Okay. So apparently, so then it's 2019 when she launches, then the pandemic hits. And, you know, as we know, as a direct-to-consumer brand and an at-home product, which she is too, she was as well, we just all skyrocketed during COVID. I mean, everyone was home shopping online and wanting to like fulfill something too. I feel like a lot of people shopped because it was like there was nothing else to do. Apparently, she got up to like $10 million in revenue within like a year or two because of the COVID. I wonder how many pairs of underwear that is sold. That's a lot, considering they were like
700,000.
so inexpensive. So here's where I love to interject and say, what did she do differently than we did?
700,000 plus pairs early on.
Wow,
Hit 10 million in revenue in 2020.
that's crazy. So if I'm her, I'm like, let's retire.
Yeah.
Let's just close up shop.
Ride it out. Yeah.
Like, let's not, I don't know. I mean, you have something good going, right? Like, so we, you know, on similar trajectories went a different way. And listen to our Outdoor Voices episode because there's a point in the episode where we also discussed that we did not raise money and we never have and da-da-da. I also wonder, this brought up something for me too as I was thinking through this today. I feel like there are people, men and women, that become addicted to this raising money concept.
It's like a competition.
Yes.
It's like a game.
Yes.
And they want to win.
Yes. And they don't care if the end is success or not. I don't know if they really care about the money, like where it's going. They care and they're going to try to spend it well, but like it's just a different
for
mentality.
her, I mean, I don't know what the logistics were or the business deal, right?
Yeah.
She got the money and the end result, you know, years down the road was not good. I mean, in 2025, they ended up folding.
Yep.
I'm not giving anything away, but
Yeah.
did she, I mean, she got what she wanted out of it, right?
I don't know if she made any money on it.
Really?
Her equity was so diluted by the time. So, well, let's keep reading because
keep going.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But no, I don't think she got out of it. Same as Ty Haney. I don't.
Interesting.
They raised so much that they had to give up so much equity that by the end there was not anything left.
Yeah.
And when you raise money, they raised money at a $200 million valuation for these colorful underwear. I just like to remind everybody that was all they were making at $200 million valuation. That is so many pairs of underwear sold. But at the time, like social media was so easy and you could pump money into Facebook ads and get new customers. So that was where all the VCs were seeing the dollar signs. But when you raise money at that valuation, your ownership becomes like nothing.
Yeah.
And then whenever you do exit or pay out, your investors are getting paid first.
Right.
So you're down. By the time they get to you, they might not have any money left because of the valuation that they raised money at. This show is brought to you by Dudley Stephens. Hi, I'm Lauren, co-founder of Dudley Stephens. My mom, sister, and I started the brand because we wanted clothing that felt as comfortable as fleece, but still looked polished enough for everyday life. Our pieces are sustainably made, incredibly soft, and designed to be worn on repeat. Visit Dudley-Stephens with a PH and use code podcast for 15% off your first order.
Right.
So she quickly went full steam ahead after these early pandemic years of, I think she was probably raising money simultaneously throughout the whole time. But here's what they did though. They opened a Soho retail store, hundreds of thousands, $1 million probably of a build out, lease, employees, space. I mean, in New York City. And they expanded their product lines. They also picked up distribution partners, wholesale partners.
Target.
Yeah.
Like tons of stores at Target.
Yep.
And there was another one too, another big chain store.
Urban Outfitters. I think. Yep. And then they had collaborations. I think they even collaborated with like Diet Coke at some point, if I'm remembering correctly. They had like big name collaborations. Wait, I'm going to Google that because I feel like I remember it. And I was, oh yeah, Coca-Cola. So huge collabs. And, you know, at this point, she's probably 22 or, you know, ish.
Yeah.
Which is like, I do have to say, even though the company did not sustain itself, like so impressive that she was able to do all of this. And what it tells me too is that she's good at like maybe hiring people, like finding the right people to figure all this out. Like she was given the money and then she clearly, like I think they also invested in senior people. They had probably invested in huge teams. I mean, they had to have if they were doing all this. So, you know, the viral social media community thing, her brand mission was very clear from the start. And she, had to hire a team.
So my whole thing too on this is like she had a hero product, right? And then it was how many pairs of underwear did you say?
Like 700,000 or something. Like that, I think they did sell.
They did sell.
Yeah, at some point that was like.
But then when you
documented.
expand your product category beyond just underwear, you're like diluting your brand story, right? Because you have to expand outside of that. And how many different types of pairs of underwear can you make?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, I think she went into like bras and like all these other different types of activewear. Right. So at some point, her brand story started to get diluted a little bit, right?
Extremely. Exactly. So what then happened was we hit 2022 when the market in general started dropping. And we know that from people in the industry and our experience and the post-COVID boom, things started going down quickly. And that was when the algorithm all changed also. And privacy, you can't track people as easily. Like that all came up on Apple phones and all that. So it just became much more expensive and hard to reach new people. And the market became super saturated. I mean, look at me finding this like other brand so easily.
And you have like Skims.
Skims was brought up a lot in this research, like what they're doing right, I guess, with everything.
Yeah.
But they have Kim Kardashian. I don't know. I mean, I feel like you have a celebrity name. I mean, not all celebrity brands also last, but like you have that. And she's a business person, I feel like, you know. I don't know. They're doing something right, apparently.
Well, and she kind of speaks to that demo already, too.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
I think they have a better product, too.
Yeah.
Skims product I really like. I mean, everything I've bought from them I enjoy. And even my husband shops there.
Probably.
Yeah, maybe it's
your husband.
Yeah, Graham.
I don't think I want to know that.
I know, sorry. Anyway, product is good. So I never shopped at Parade, but again, I don't think it was the demo. But Skims kind of does everything. They talk to every generation in a way.
Yeah.
Younger, though.
Younger.
I think. Yeah. They probably took a lot of business from Spanx.
Skims did.
Skims did. Sorry.
Yeah,
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Definitely.
Anyway, so what happens when you raise all this money? I'm going to Google how much she actually raised. So what happens, I mean, her ownership at this point is so diluted, and then all of her investors, they want their money back at some point. And that's where I just continue to not understand why retail companies go to VC money. I don't know. I think it's puts so much pressure on the brand. It dilutes the brand messaging, like you just brought up. And so she and her, I'm sure there was a board who decided this as well. That was probably a combination of advisors of the investors and Cami and anyone else who invested in the company. But they were pushed for an exit so quickly too. I mean, by 2023, they were acquired by Ariella and Associates.
She raised over $50 million from investors.
Oh my gosh. That's like so crazy.
In 2022, their valuation was $200 million, which you had said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then 2023, they sold.
Yeah.
They were acquired by Ariella.
And, who knows how much Cami walked away with, but I'm thinking probably not very much. And I feel like the company was probably already showing signs of distress at that point. And they sold to a company that I think owns Fruit of the Loom.
Yeah.
Which is like, are they trying to not be that? I mean, I know Fruit of the Loom is more like accessible and whatever, but like, it's just very, this full circle of the whole story is crazy.
They partnered with TerraCycle.
Oh.
They had a whole recycling program.
Oh.
Which is what we do.
That's what we do. Well, and we're still doing it.
We're still doing it. Yeah. Actually, this is probably going to drop right before our
Earth Day.
Earth Day.
You're right. Oh my gosh, how did we forget? Because we're recording so early in advance.
Yeah.
We have a recycling program that we run for about a week usually, and you can send in your old Dudley Stephens for pineapple points to shop for a new one on our site. And we have TerraCycle, who's been a recycling partner of ours for many years now, pick up the old pallets, and they turn it into like insulation
and
playground
mostly
stuff.
insulation.
Mostly insulation, yeah.
But this is gross, like sending back in old underwear. That grosses me out. But I guess what else are you going to do with it?
I know. I wonder if they gave reward points. Does it say?
It doesn't say here, but I'm sure.
Interesting. Yeah. So once they were acquired by Fruit of the Loom, what do you think happened? What you said.
Shut down.
They shut down, and quickly, like, they lost their brand identity. Gen Z got annoyed. They like sold out. They were like anti all this stuff, and then they sold out to like a huge corporate partner.
Well, yeah, diluted their whole brand.
Yeah.
They became too big.
Yeah.
They lost their story.
Yeah.
And their core customer got mad.
And the quality declined. Like all the, everything just started to decline quickly, sounds like. So, and around that time, like we've said now, there was a major rise in customer acquisition costs. Like advertising just became so expensive, and reaching people became more difficult. And if you don't have that like founder leading the way like she was for the previous years, and really focusing on the core product, the hero product, the underwear, and like also still maintaining the virality, like those two things have to keep happening.
Right.
Even when you're trying to grow. You can't just like let that go.
No. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know if people realize that. Well, and then everyone now is all about profit. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, profit. But I do think like we've gone through various like iterations of our company where we, especially you, have been the face of the brand since day one. But there was a period of time where we were like, let's see if I can take a step back a little bit and see if Dudley Stephens, like the pineapple can be
the standalone and represent everything. Yeah.
But we quickly realized that like we both kind of need to be out there.
Yeah.
And now we're doing the podcast and we're really telling the story over and over and over again, as we've been talking about.
Yes, we have.
And so I feel like, as these companies, they take on money and they get put, these founders get pushed out. It really is a detriment to the brand.
It's so true. And I wonder if Skims will probably need an exit soon too, with all the money they've raised, like whether or not they might have an IPO. And then you wonder if like Kim Kardashian won't be in the campaigns, and what that will do to it.
Yeah.
Like on that note. Because
that would be big.
Yeah.
I mean, Sarah Blakely, is she
sold to Blackstone. She sold Spanx to Blackstone, and I don't know how involved she is now. Well, no, she has her new shoe company.
Right.
So she's
not, but I feel like she's still Spanx.
Totally. It's like, who you think of.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk about someone who just represented that brand so well,
right.
And like really was the face of it for so many years. Mm-hmm. But in a way that wasn't too much. I don't know. It's interesting.
That would be a good one to talk about, and how she did that.
Like created something from nothing.
Right.
And like,
but I guess maybe she grew that company before Instagram and like before it was really like founder focused.
It was all through department store placement and inventory buys, and like her stories of going in and being like making the buyer go try it on, because she was like, until you have it on, you won't understand.
Yeah.
So hard. You have to be a true saleswoman,
right?
Which she was before she launched the company. She had those skills, and she knew what to do with them. So by October 2025, Parade announced it would shut down after only 6 years in business, and going through all of that, raising $50 million, reaching 700, selling to how many women? Maybe 1 million women by the end or more. And then quickly shutting down. It's actually really incredible when you think about it.
That's like no time at all.
No time at all. It was just like a blip and then gone. And I think it, I remember following the trajectory and like the business and everything, and how it further confirmed our decisions, as hard as we've had it. And there were times where we wish we had extra money laying around and we didn't. And so just because you're raising money doesn't mean you're succeeding. I think that's the lesson I keep seeing. But I do think that there are men and women out there who like can't help themselves in terms of raising money. It's like almost like that's their skill. Maybe they should just go raise money for other founders.
Yeah, right.
Because like they'll like Ty Haney too. Like they leave, like Cammie right now is starting a whole other company, which might do well, but she's out there raising money again.
Yeah. Well, maybe she has learnings though. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's true. That's very true.
Maybe this one will be successful.
Be quick to judge.
Yeah.
I do think her new company sounds fascinating.
What is this new company?
I mentioned it on another episode, and it has something to do with AI and sourcing community, which is what she did so well.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's a way to comb the world of influencers and find on-brand, right level followers, engagement for a brand like us, and then quickly curate product, gift product, find campaigns. It basically just like does that all really efficiently.
This is hard though. So I'm on the Parade Instagram and I'm like reading. They have the last post they had was them saying they were closing and saying they're grateful and sorry that they have to do this.
Yeah.
And then a few of the comments are like, I knew this was going to happen. You've basically sold out by partnering with Coca-Cola and selling to Target. It's like they were too commercial for their community.
Yes.
But like, how do you have a company and grow as a company if your community is not commercial? You know what I mean? Like, it's like a catch-22, right?
Or you can, but you have to be ready for the backlash.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's so true. It goes back to like the minute you start a company or you want to be an influencer, or you have to be really careful who you speak to first.
Yeah.
Because those are the people that are going to stay around. And if you start as an influencer and you're posting your kids, I always think about this. And then all of a sudden they become 9, 10, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't be posting them, but you rely on that revenue stream.
Yes.
You got to change. You're starting over.
Right.
You're starting way over and that's exactly what you're describing as well in a different way. That like she spoke to a certain consumer.
Yeah.
Who was consuming, by the way.
Yes.
A lot. And then she just did a 180. Wow, I can't believe they were mad about selling out at Coca-Cola. But I guess, that's like a big, huge corporation. Anyway, so interesting. I can see how people would have gone up against that and been, a little hesitant that they were doing all of that. Now, I wonder, and we'll never know, but had she not raised as much money, had she self-funded, grown more slowly, not got swept up in that whole thing, what would the company be now?
Yeah. I mean,
excuse me.
She could stick as a $10 million company.
Yeah. She could have sold and made a lot of money.
Yeah.
So many lessons to be learned.
I mean, she could have sold to American Eagle and just said, you take it over and I'm going to step back and that's it.
Exactly. Well, and I think that everyone realized that like companies need to be profitable now before you invest in them, because that whole time of social media being so easy and cheap is no longer. So now we're in a new world. Excuse me. So what we continue to learn too is that brands that grow slower and stay profitable often survive longer. And that's something I keep seeing. Oh, another quote I pulled out that I know you'll like, Khaki.
Yay.
Focus builds brand authority. So focusing on our turtlenecks, focusing on our community, focusing on our messaging, like that is where we become brand
authority.
Yeah, that's where we're building it.
I love that.
And so it's important to remember that and stay focused on all of that, all of the important things, and like improving margins and budgeting, like those are what we spend our days on, not going out and raising $50 million. And I think we're laughing because it can be really stressful sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I know. I mean, we talk about how raising money, is one way to have a company and everything, but and how, we're trying to build a more long-term, smaller brand, but it's still stressful. It's not exactly. Like one is more stressful than the other. It
a lot falls on our shoulders, and we are ultimately responsible for all of it.
Exactly.
Well, anyway, I'm sure there's other brands that we can deep dive on, and I think the next one should be one that's really killing it right now. And like some that come to mind are Vuori, Hill House Home, and Skims. I mean, we don't need to do a deep dive on Skims, but they're using the fundraising and the virality together.
Yes.
And I think that's what's working so well. And product. It's all about product.
Yeah.
Really. That's what we're doing. We're making products because we love it. Like, we're not just like...
We're not expanding to expand.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. We're not a tech company.
Right.
Like, where you have an easy thing that you can just blow up and multiply quickly. Like, we have a product that needs care, attention, and time, So it's not as easy as it looks, I think. Anyway, I think that there's all these things to learn, and I feel like we're now in a college course, which I love, and I would love to be able to go back to school, and I think I could do a lot better at like getting an MBA now than I could have in my 20s.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I'd be way more interested, right? Maybe we should look into that. Let's add another thing to our
Columbia
plate.
Business School.
Yeah, right.
Here we come.
Yeah, exactly.
They have really fun keg parties on Friday nights.
Oh, yeah. I think I went to one of those. I definitely went to one of those with you when I was living in the city and you were at Columbia. Anyway, okay. So the 5 takeaways from today, if you're listening and you're nerdy like us, 1 iconic product, clear brand identity, having a focused assortment. So do not go into too many categories too quickly, which I think we've learned too. Like we've done some things that we weren't like bags.
We tested things and then realized they didn't work. So we backtracked.
Yes, exactly. A strong founder story and storytelling, and then building community.
Yeah.
Those are the pillars that we will keep reminding ourselves of as we're continuing to build our brand slowly. Anyway, well, it's so fascinating. I highly recommend reading up on it more if you want to like Google it and read more on Cami and what she's doing now. And
yeah, I'm definitely going to look into her new company. That sounds really interesting.
I mean, there's a very high chance that we might want to use it at some point.
Yeah.
So, kudos to her for, and Ty Haney too went back out and made that loyalty. They both took what they did best at Outdoor Voices, which was loyalty, and Ty also built community, but I think she was way more engaging with her community than Cami was.
Yes.
Like she would go on runs with them.
Yeah, she was very involved with it.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
And whereas Cami was more like the face of it, I feel like. But they both took what they did well, and then now they're starting these like more tech-related, tech-type companies.
Very cool.
So they're very smart and very young, and I give them a lot of credit for putting themselves out there and really going for it because it's so, I can't imagine the stress.
It takes a lot of confidence too.
It does. It really does. And a thick skin.
Especially having gone through something that wasn't as successful as you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
To go back out there and try it again.
Yeah. So true. So true.
That's a lot.
It is.
Good for them.
Yeah. And I feel, and like we said on the Outdoor Voices episode, like I really always feel for the female founder because man alive, does the public love to build them up and then tear them down. So, like we have to keep supporting the women out there who are putting themselves out there because it's really hard and we're not all perfect. Like no one's going to be this like incredible, perfect storyteller person, brand leader. Like, I don't know. I'm sure Sarah Blakely has gotten.
Totally.
Right.
But she's like she has a thick skin too.
Yeah. Seems to just rise above it. So good for her. All right. Well,
that was fun.
That was really fun. Thank you guys. And a few people responded about the Outdoor Voices episode, but if you have other brands that you'd love to like, for us to kind of just discuss and hear our thoughts on, like send us a message, please.
Please. And like and subscribe.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thanks, guys.